Alright, let's break this down. No sugarcoating. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a storm, trying to navigate through the chaos of your mind. All this confusion, all these conflicting ideas, biases and assumptions, they're pulling you in different directions like winds threatening to knock you down. That's what Bacon's four idols are. The mental winds that distort how you see reality. But you're not just some sucker in the storm. You're about to learn how to harness the storm. Bend it to your will. Because these idols, they're not some abstract philosophical garbage. They're real. They're in you, messing with your thinking. But guess what? You can smash through them. You can break free. The idols, they're the bullshit that stops you from seeing the truth. The idol of the tribe. The first idol. It's just the basic bullshit we all share. You, me, everyone, we're all wired to fall for the same tricks. Like seeing patterns that aren't there. You're out walking and bam, there's a cloud in the shape of a dragon. You're not crazy. It's just your brain looking for patterns because it's lazy and likes things to be simple. But here's the thing. Patterns, they don't always mean shit. Sometimes your brain tricks you into seeing things that are just random. Let's say you think every time you fail at something, it means you're a failure. That's you letting the idol of the tribe run your life. An LP tip. When you start noticing this in yourself, ask, is this really true? Or is it just that I'm seeing patterns because I want to? The trick is learning to question your automatic thoughts, not just accept them like a lazy zombie. Shift your perspective, and you start breaking through the barrier. When you start seeing things for what they really are, it's like you've suddenly unlocked a cheat code to reality. The idols of the cave. Let's dive deeper into this. The cave. Your cave. It's your personal shit. It's how your experiences, your family, your culture, your education, they've warped your brain. For instance, if your parents always told you that money doesn't grow on trees, you might be stuck in a mindset where money is struggle. That's not truth. That's just your personal cave. And guess what? We're all stuck in some kind of cave, believing some kind of personal lie. Start reframing this stuff. It's like holding a mirror up to your beliefs and going, wait, this is what's been screwing with me. I didn't even realize I was wearing these mental chains. You can start shifting perspectives, trying to see the world through other people's eyes. This is the key to growth. You can use this when you're stuck in negative patterns, recognizing them and going, okay, what else could this mean? It's not easy, but it's incredibly freeing once you start. The idols of the marketplace. Language, my friend. Language is powerful. And it's a double-edged sword. You've been misled so many times by the way that people talk to you. Use words and make things sound like absolute truth, when in fact it's nothing but opinion and miscommunication. Have you ever had someone explain something to you and you just knew they were full of shit? But their fancy words made it hard to argue with them. That's the idol of the marketplace doing its thing. It's the misuse of language to cloud your perception. Start noticing how you use words, how you communicate. Are you being precise? Or are you just regurgitating ideas? When people say things that sound true, take a second and ask, what do they really mean by that? Is that really true? This is how you sharpen your mental sword. the idols of the theatre. This one is where the real drama happens. Dogma, philosophies, old school bullshit. The stuff that's been handed down, generation to generation, that makes you think, you have to live a certain way, follow a certain rule, believe a certain thing, all because someone said so. Do you remember the time when someone told you, that's the way it's always been done? And you blindly followed. Me too. This idol says you have to follow authority. But when you do that, you lose your power. You're letting others make decisions for you. Start asking questions, even when you think something's true, because society says so. Stop and ask, what if this is wrong? What's the evidence? Instead of accepting it, challenge it. Why does this matter? Because when you question everything, you stop being a pawn in someone else's game. You become the master of your own destiny. So how this all changes your life? You see, once you break free of these idols, life gets clearer. You stop being manipulated by biases, by the past, by others. When you see the world as it is, rather than through the foggy lens of your assumptions, you unlock real power. You're not reacting to life anymore, you're creating it. And that's not just freedom, that's true power. You'll be more aware, more present, and more open to new ideas. You'll question everything. And when you question things, that's when your mind expands. When your mind expands, you get better results. You stop getting stuck in limiting beliefs. And you start seeing unlimited possibilities. So break the chains. What's holding you back? Fear. Fear of being wrong. Fear of challenging the status quo. Fear of rejection. But let me tell you this. Those fears are the chains holding you back from being the real you. You've been conditioned to believe. If you don't conform, if you don't follow those societal rules, you'll be outcast. But the truth, that's a lie. The only way to live a meaningful life is to break free from those chains. And here's the kicker. When you start embracing this idea that everything is open for questioning, your life will get more powerful. You'll stop doubting yourself. Stop caring what others think. And start living by your own rules. The science behind it. When you think critically, you activate different parts of your brain. The prefrontal cortex comes online, and this starts making smarter decisions. You become more adaptable. You get better at learning. You start innovating rather than just following. And that's what makes people successful. They don't follow the crowd. They create their own path. Why do people stay stuck? Because most people, they're comfortable being miserable. They prefer comfort to truth. They're scared of the unknown, scared to think differently, scared of being rejected. But what's worse than living your whole life stuck? Never knowing what you could have been. Interrupt that pattern. Start today. Question everything. Break the bullshit idols. Because the truth is, life doesn't give a damn about your fears. It'll just keep moving, whether you're ready or not. You can either stay stuck in the same old patterns, or you can wake up and start questioning. The choice is yours. But one thing's for sure. You're not the same person you were an hour ago. You're waking up. You're getting sharper. You're breaking the chains, and soon you're going to see the world for what it really is. A playground for the bold, the smart, the awake. Now make the decision. You're going to use this. You're going to start questioning. And when you do, you'll start feeling different. Like the world isn't holding you back anymore. Because it's not. You are.